And welcome into Badger Blueprint. I'm Zach Hanley alongside Andrew Bandstra. And for the next 30 minutes, we're going to get you ready for Wisconsin's massive matchup against Purdue.
Now, this game not only has Big Ten title implications, but a road win at Mackey Arena that would do wonders for the Badgers when it comes to their seed in the Big Dance.
But before we get to Selection Sunday or even tip-off,
let's first take a look back at how Wisconsin got to this point.
After a 3-0 start, Wisconsin hosted an old enemy, Arizona. 10 years after their back-to-back meetings in the Elite Eight, it was a banner night for Bo Ryan. And for John Tonje, too, the transfer forward put the world on notice, pouring in 41 of the team's 103 points in a marquee win. The next thing you knew, it was turkey time. Bucky feasted in the Greenbrier tip-off, winning the holiday tournament as part of an 8-0 start to the season.
The 2024 Greenbrier tip-off champions, the Wisconsin Badgers.
Their first slip-up was their first Big Ten action, where a 3-point home loss to the Wolverines turned into a 3-game losing streak against Michigan, Marquette, and Illinois. In that loss to Illinois, Stephen Crowell did not collect a single rebound, and Greg Gard called him out for it, sequestering Big Steve to step up.
This isn't a one-game thing that just all of a sudden, he hasn't been aggressive enough really all year, quite frankly.
And the senior center heard his coach loud and clear. He scored 18 against Butler and another 15 against Detroit Mercy, leading Bucky to back-to-back wins to close out 2024. In January, they dove headfirst into Big Ten play, bringing in the new year by hanging a Kohl Center record 116 points on the Hawkeyes, connecting on a conference record 21 three-pointers made.
We just knew that they didn't want to play defense, and all we had to do is play a little bit more defense than them, and the game is ours.
Defense or no defense, there has been no stopping Kamari McGee in the corner from 3 this season, or his Badgers. After 3 more Big Ten dubs, they took a 6-game win streak to the bright lights of Los Angeles. John Blackwell started Beach Week off by dropping 28 points in a takedown of the USC Trojans. He and the rest of his Badger teammates celebrated improving to 14-3 by lending a helping hand to those in need, volunteering at LA's West Side Food Bank in honor of MLK Day.
It's just big, just being able to do this for other people, like us coming together and helping other people is something he would have loved to see.
But when they got back onto the court, their luck ran out against UCLA. The Bruins handed the Badgers their first loss in over a month.
What a huge play.
The biggest play of the game.
When they got back home, they welcomed an old friend in Connor Esesian and his Nebraska squad to the Kohl Center the only way they know how.
McGee back to Tonje. Dribbles off the left wing, goes to the goal and sends it down with the right hand.
Putting the former Badger on a poster and signing it with an 83-55 W. Their next time out, they lost to a good Maryland team on the road, and at risk of losing 3 of 4, they went to Northwestern needing a win. It's a game that will only ever be remembered in one way by Badger fans, as the Carter Gilmore game.
Okay, I see you, Carter Gilmore.
The 5th-year senior stood strong and then some, scoring a career-high 15 points, all of them in the second half, guiding Bucky back into the win column. And then Carter and the guys asked their next opponent a simple question: who's your daddy? The answer, just like the last 20 games between these two at the Kohl Center, the Badgers, who most recently beat the Hawkeyes again thanks to who else but the two Johns. The dynamic duo combined for 41 points and willed Wisconsin to a win. And now it's on to their biggest test yet.
And we're just getting started. We break down the Badgers and the Boilermakers after the break. And welcome back to Badger Blueprint. When you think of Wisconsin and Purdue, probably the first thing that comes to mind is Chucky Hepburn's step-back bank-in triple that clinched a Big Ten championship for the Badgers. But these two teams are no strangers to epic battles with high stakes on the line. In 5 of the last 6 seasons, it's been either Wisconsin or Purdue winning or sharing the Big Ten regular season title. And in last year's Big Ten tournament, Greg Gard's squad upset the Boilermakers in overtime to punch their ticket to the championship game. There's just something about when these programs meet, the stakes are always high.
Two great teams, two great coaches, but really two great cultures that have done it the right way for a while now, and I think it's just kind of a testament to that.
It's just another game of two good teams going at it, two great programs just going at it. So, you know, we always want to see who's the big dog. So, you know, that's why that game is always special.
And as far as this game goes, the high-stakes trend continues. Win or loss, this top 16 showdown in West Lafayette is going to be the Badgers' most important game of the season to date.
As a kid, you live for these moments, for the big games, you know, the countdowns, you know, for these games like that. It's exciting. So, you know, we try not to worry about like what comes with the result of the game, but more so just being in the game, being excited to play in that game. So, you know, whatever happens, happens, but, you know, my guys will be ready.
With Big Ten title on the line and us being towards the top, it puts a little more pressure on it. Not pressure, but a little more anticipated, but we'll be ready, and we believe we can win this one for sure.
And we will have more Badger Blueprint after the break.
So we've heard from the Badgers on their thoughts on the Boilermakers, but now we've got to hear from our guy, Nick Osen from 24/7 Sports. Now, Nick, we're going to get to the game in a minute, but John Tonje, what a pickup in the portal by Greg Gard. It feels like that guy has been part of the program since he was a freshman.
Guys, absolutely. John Tonje has just been a terrific pickup for Gard in this group. You know, he's averaging just about 19 points, 5 rebounds, just under 2 assists. You'd think somebody like that with those numbers be kind of overconfident. He's the star player, right? But what really stands out to me is his approach and his work ethic. Just like much of the team, he's very humble, one of the hardest workers. And guys, I have heard from staff as well as players, including Max Klesmit, nobody puts in the time and nobody watches film like John Tonje, somebody that has put in the time, put in the work, and deserves all of this success with the Badgers.
And that's been a big reason that the offense has been what it's been this year. This is not your dad's Badger team, specifically on the offensive side. They're averaging 81 points per game, the 5th most in program history. So what is it that they're doing to unlock that offense in addition to Tonje?
Yeah, Andrew, so I think this needs to be a lot of credit again to Coach Gard and Coach Kirk Penny. They totally shifted and kind of adapted things from a bit of an older mixed swing offense about 2 years ago, and now it is one of the most fluid, screen-oriented kind of offenses within the nation. And I think what really stands out is everybody that's out there can shoot, whether it's a 3, 4, or 5. 4 starters over 32.5% from deep, and the one that isn't, Max Klesmit, I'm trusting him to hit a shot late as much as anybody. So I think a lot of credit goes to that, as well as, again, these guys are putting Wisconsin first, not just their numbers, and I think that has led to unselfishness as well as success offensively.
So we know that this game is going to be extremely close. 2 elite teams. Is there any kind of X factor we can look out for in this game, somebody that could make or break the outcome?
Andrew, I love that question. I think you could point to a lot of guys on this team, but frankly, this one was easy for me. I think it's Kamari McGee, right? He's averaging about 8 points. It's his career high as a Badger. He looks comfortable out there, confident, over 3 assist to turnover ratio, shooting 55% from 3. But more than anything, guys, I'm looking at his defense. I was able to watch Braden Smith and Purdue this week. You need to make him uncomfortable. Smith doesn't need to sit. He can play a full 40 minutes. So you want somebody that can attack, be physical, fast. He's aggressive. Kamari McGee still make things happen on the offensive end. I love his potential, and this is a game when you are going to be physical and really kind of in the crunch time and in a tight one. I like his potential to play 25, maybe 30 minutes for this Badgers team at guard.
Okay, so with all that being said, who do you got in this one?
So, guys, I've had a really tough time picking this game as well as Michigan early in the year. For this one, just having seen Purdue, following this Badgers team all the time, obviously, I actually like the matchup, so long as they can draw fouls like Michigan was able to this week against Purdue. There's not a ton of post depth for the Boilermakers this year. There's no Zach Edey. We talked about the depth of Wisconsin, how they can win either way. I think coming about a week off in terms of without a game, get some good preparation in. Right now, I'm going to say Wisconsin in a close one in West Lafayette.
Okay, so Nick has the Badgers. We'll make our picks a little later in the show. And coming up next, we sit down with a pair of Badgers that have been a spark off the bench all season long. More Badger Blueprint after the break.
Welcome back to Badger Blueprint. Wisconsin is 19-5 this season for a handful of reasons. They play good defense, they're scoring at a higher rate, and it just seems like different guys step up each night.
Well, two big ones off the bench have been Carter Gilmore and Kamari McGee. We sat down with the two to find out what this run has been like for a pair that's been lighting it up.
Shot blocked by Gilmore.
He brings like a different type of bite, you know.
He's feisty. Always got the pregame speech for us. Always getting us ramped up, ready to go.
Left corner three is good. The sweet spot for Kamari McGee.
Similar paths, but also different. You transferred in, you walked on, earned a scholarship, but you earned everything, right? Was there ever a moment, maybe 2 years ago, last year, your first year here, where you were like, maybe this isn't the place for me?
There were a lot of moments like that my first year, just because it was a lot of ups and downs. You know, I didn't know what I was really getting myself into. So yeah, I definitely had those moments. But the guy to the right of me, you know, he helped me through those times. You know, it wasn't an easy road at all getting here to where we are now. But you know, thanks to him and the rest of the guys, it made it a lot better.
I think there was a lot of times where I questioned if this is where I belong or if I was good enough to play here, being a walk-on and stuff, but at the end I knew it would be all worth it.
An open three left of the circle. The legend continues.
Obviously, you thought about it, right? Like, it's gonna happen, but now that it's actually happening, what has it been like for you?
I mean, it's been a dream come true. I mean, for real, I mean, this was my dream to come here and play. Through all the ups and the downs, I never knew kind of how it would turn out. But just kind of not only have this season, but to do it with these guys, to do it with Kamari next to my side, and to just kind of see and watch just kind of the passion and joy that we play with. It makes it so much fun to go out there.
It's kind of proof that, like, hey, you stick with it, hard work, it's gonna pay off in the end.
You know, I look back at pictures from previous games and I'm just with a smile on my face, just knowing like where I was 2 years ago compared to now. Like, it's a dream come true, like Gil says.
Extra pass McGee, another three, left corner, book it again. Back-to-back long shots from Kamari McGee.
We just gotta keep doing it though, man. You know, there's more fun to be had.
We've talked before and you said this is the most fun season that you've had. What's it like when you hear chants of MVP, or we're at Northwestern, people are calling it the Carter Gilmore game, Gilly James, right? And they're chanting, Carter Gilmore, like, what is that like?
My dream's always been as a kid to just inspire others to know that you can do whatever you set your mind to, no matter what the naysayers say. There'll always be doubters, but just to know that you can do it, to kind of be proof and kind of be example, just makes it even more special to do it for my home state.
Gilmore for three, left of the circle, he hit it! Oh my goodness, Carter Gilmore!
First career start as a Badger, right? Minnesota, you go out, I mean, this guy rarely misses a corner three. Like, I mean, what was that moment like?
It's hard to put it in words, you know. I prayed for that, you know. I prayed for that moment, and God, He answered, you know. So I gotta give a shout out to Him. Like, I have prayed ever since the first day I stepped on this campus. You know, just me getting a start, just start in the starting lineup. Like, I told the guys on the bench, like, I can't lie and tell y'all that I'm not happy right now, you know. But yeah, like, again, another dream come true, just being able to start, you know, being able to be not just a spark off the bench, but a spark the entire game.
McGee with 5 of the shot clock. McGee against Lakai Patterson. 3 in the air. McGee, yes, sir.
What would you tell freshman, sophomore, junior year Carter Gilmore about this road?
I would say that there's going to be the highest of highs, and there's going to be some low lows in there. You might question whether it's worth it or not, but put your best foot forward every single day, show up ready to work, lean on your family and friends next to you. That'll all work out, and just keep God first.
Out to Gilly, open three, left side, got it again! Back-to-back triples from Carter Gilmore.
What would you tell your younger self about this road that you're on?
I would tell him that storms don't last forever, you know. Tell him to just keep his head down and keep working, put his faith in God, and everything will work out for the better.
Get it out left side, McGee for three, he hit it again!
I'm picking Jack Janicki. Jack Janicki is probably the smartest guy on our team. He's always going on the tangent, and he knows the most random facts. So I think if I was stranded on the island, he'd be able to find some type of covers, find some type of food that we can get, and just get us out of the situation, honestly. He might build a boat himself. He's that smart.
I would take Jack Robeson because he claims to be sort of a big outdoorsy kind of guy, and I think that he could get us out of some pickles if we had some natural events that we had to overcome.
I'd bring Jack Janicki. He'll bring good vibes. He's smart. He's wise. I think he'd give me the best chance of survival, so I'll go Jack.
I would probably say my roommate, Marcus Ilver, just because Marcus, he knows me. Like he knows, like he's always there. You know, we do a lot of stuff together, and he always has my back. So I know he would make sure we get off that island. Like whenever I need something at home, or like whenever I might need help with something with my computer or something, Marcus is always there to help me. So I'm definitely calling him or like asking him for help.
Probably Jack Janicki right here. He knows a lot of things that I don't know and a lot of my teammates don't know. So probably him. He's kind of a jack of all trades, no pun intended.
I'm gonna go Max Klesmet just because he's my roommate now. We know how to live with each other. I think he would be able to go out and get us some food or start a fire for us. So I would pick him for that.
Wisconsin and Purdue tip it off in a little over 30 minutes, and all that's left for us to do, make our picks. Andrew?
Yeah, Zach, this is going to be a close one, and we know that, but I'm going to go with Wisconsin. They're still looking for that marquee win this season. They haven't found a way to get it, and if you look at their losses, they're all against these good teams. You go up against the best team you played all year, you get a win, it could do a lot for you. Give me Bucky in a tough one in West Lafayette.
Well, Andrew, the last time the Badgers won at Mackey, Johnny Davis dropped 37 on the Boilermakers, and Wisconsin went on to win the Big Ten. I'm not saying John Tonje won't have a performance like that, but I don't see Wisconsin beating Purdue in this one. And that's it for our Badger Blueprint pregame show. For Andrew Bandstra, I'm Zach Hanley. Thanks for watching.